Okay, so this descriptor will be put into two parts. The first part being the 6/4, and the second part being the 4/4 in triplets. Hi, Zach from the future here. I'm editing this video and I realized I didn't explain how to diddle. I just explained like the extra stuff. So here's how to diddle. So you got your fulcrums on both hands, right? Whether it be double match fulcrums, these guys, or you get your fulcrum on here, which is this guy on snare drum. Cool. Where a diddle comes from is from the fulcrum. It's a bouncing motion. You're getting two notes. Give that a shot really quick. Same thing with the left hand. It's really just pushing from the thumb. Cool. So one thing you want to avoid is choking off your diddle too much. You don't want that. You want nice open diddles. Cool. And then you want to avoid taking off your back fingers as much as possible. It's super easy to diddle this way, but it looks really whack. Cool. You want to make sure your fingers are on, you're still squeezing your fulcrums. Your fingers aren't death gripping, your extra fingers on the back. They're really lightly on, but you're mostly just using fulcrum, squeezing, rotating your wrists all the way through. Alright, so for the 6/4, you want to make sure that the 8th notes are completely consistent all the way through, right? Tempo's here. The second part of the 6/4 that you want to think about, and the reason it exists, is making sure that you know that the rhythm you're making is a 16th note rhythm, right? It should sound like... You could see I did singles in there, and it still sounded like the diddles, right? That rhythm has to be there. It can't be this. You're kind of distorting that 16th note rhythm. We want to make sure we have making sure that you're focusing on that 16th note, making sure that's there. Last thing for the 6/4, you want to make sure that your hand-to-hand rolls are even. And the way that you can do that is transitioning and seeing the relationship between the beginning and the end, right? So at first we have, that's all first right hands, and we have, then next we have all right hands. And then the second part, we have all left hands. And then the last part, we have a full roll. And then we have a tap roll. So you want to make sure from hand to hand that your diddles are even and you're not using too much fulcrum. You're making a nice even 16th note. That should be the same rhythm all the way through. And lastly, let's talk about a tap roll. So essentially what a tap roll is instead of diddling the right hand, that first right hand, you're just doing an 8th note. So instead of playing, you're doing, that's it. Instead of, it's, that's essentially what a tap roll is. Cool, so for the 4/4, the key to this is mastering the 6/4 first, mastering those 8th notes, and then getting into these triplets. You want to make sure that you're staying consistent in the triplet all the way through, staying what's called in the hand speed all the way through the entire exercise. So we got tempo here. And what you can feel is, you can feel that, don't play that, but you can feel that motion, feel that groove of the triplet within there. And playing triplets all the way through is a super important thing for this exercise. If we're not staying consistently playing this, right? If we're not in that hand speed, it's not gonna work. It's only gonna work if we stay in that triplet hand speed all the way through the exercise. And last thing, make sure you listen through and play through the 6/4 before you dive into that 4/4. It's super essential that you do that. That's like the foundation of the 4/4, so make sure you do that before anything else happens. All right, cool. You made it through triplet diddle. Keep working on it. Rolls are never good enough, so as much time you can get practicing those, the better it can be. Cool. Great job. we're gonna move on to our next exercise. All right, cool. See you there.